Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Vobie One-Eyed Kenobi Showbie with me, Richard. I don't know who the hell I am. Vobie Kenobi One-Eyed... Yes. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Vobe show with me, Dickie Vobes, here in the helm. Anyone who managed to get the yellow jumper, actually, it is a... Yes, it's one of them. And my smoking jacket on this evening because it's quite cold. Thank you very much. And a blue shirt. Anybody got that? Get yourselves full marks, ladies and gentlemen. Full, wonderful, full marks. That's right to the prop and full and beaming and ready to be swallowed. Unfortunately, today, no guests on today's show. Just miserable old me with my bald head and glasses and my smoking jacket and my Persian slippers, which happen to be on my little pieds. Even Eric is fast asleep at the moment, but never mind. Anyway, just before you came on air and you'd managed to get yourselves into the audience, there was me fiddling with all the knobs and things, and somebody I noticed, I think it was Sean James Cameron, who said, "What could possibly go wrong this evening?" Well, I only lost the camera, didn't I? Only lost the camera, and 10 minutes before we managed to get back on, I managed to find it. So we have a camera. So thank you very much for that. Hello to everybody. Thank you for joining me this evening. Lots of lovely people out there. We have 87 people who've tuned in. It's very nice to see you, including Jeff Sussex, John B, David Vad, Colonel Craig Ratty, Mark Donny McLeod, Bonnie H, Daniel Watkins, Peter May. I'm just going completely at random, not necessarily from the top. Andrew Norris, the lovely Julia, of course. Sean Ford, David Vad, I may have said. Paul Cockrell, Jeff Sussex, I think I said. Terry Bandon, hello. Your nonsense often makes sense. Thank you very much. I hope it does tonight. Hello, lovely, says Julia M. Mark Donny McLeod, smoking jacket. Doesn't that set off the alarms? It does when I get it going. I haven't lit the blue touch paper yet. How do you lose the camera, says Tall Podge Rog. Very easy. It's got legs of its own and it goes running around. I go, where the hell are you? And it plays hide and seek with me, if you know what I mean. Andy Stacey says, good evening. Colonel Craig Ratty says, where did little Eric hide the camera this time? I think it was under the drain cover. Had to go. The last place you'd look, stick the marigolds on, go and have a quick look under the drain cup. There it is. There it is. Come on, little camera. No, it said, I'm shy. I'm not coming out tonight. What a shame. What a shame. Never mind. Anyway, it's lovely to see you. Leave your car clock. You only have to change it again in 6 months. Yes, apropos of leave it. Good stuff. Anyway, on tonight's show, ladies and gentlemen, nice to have your attention and your company as well. Stephen Agger is appearing at Ponies on Sisbury. Colonel Craig Ratty has some pictures of him climbing and his mates. And Bernie is back in Eastbourne. Now, Bernie, is Bernie out there? Yes, he is. Bernie, I've got a question for you because, funny enough, I was looking on a map earlier this evening when I lost the camera. The Crumbles. When did the I was looking at a Google's map. When did the Crumbles in Eastbourne vanish? It's all been built on. But I remember going in about 2005. on the Irene Munro, on the case of Irene Munro, you probably know this, the murder on the Crumbles with Irene Munro. And she was murdered on the Crumbles, and I went in search of that, went up to whatever it was, 393 Seaside, the road, the A259 there. And just down the road used to be the Crumbles. And I'm pretty convenient, I'm pretty convinced, because I got photo evidence somewhere, that I went over on the Crumbles and it was just shingle, like a beach. But when I've looked on Google Maps, it's all been built on. It's got houses on. There's a bloody a marina. What's going on? I want to find out. Give me a call on 0793 4746 790. When did they start building on the Crumbles in Eastbourne? Let me know. Mark Donny McLeod is out there, says, my clock stopped, but it's still twice right a day. It's still right even twice a day. That might be the correct way round of it. I had no idea. From about the 1980s. So, well, I went in 2005, and I'm sure there was a bit of the Crumbles that I walked on that was still shingle, accessible from Seaside, the road, Seaside Road or whatever it's called, just up from the Albion, is it? Where the Co-op is, that used to be this very lovely ornate Victorian pub that closed in the 1980s, not far from there, which was 346. I hear the Wombles cleared up the Crumbles, says Tall Podge Rog. That could have happened. Kerry Baldwin says, we used to go bird watching in the pools in the mid-90s. And Chris Brainwatch says, all public buildings to fly GB. No idea what he's talking about. Let's find out who this is. Oh, hang on, I've got to put headphones on and see who's on the line. Hello, caller. Welcome to the Vobie One-Eyed Kenobi Showbie.
Bernie.
Hello, Bernie. How the devil are you?
I'm all right, thank you. You're a bit ahead of me on the. I'm going to just turn the.
Yeah, I would turn the stream off. Don't listen to the stream. That's in the past. This is the future, mate. Here, if you want to know next week's lottery numbers, just ask me.
No, the Crumbles.
Yeah, the Crumbles.
Well, it began disappearing probably around about 1969, 1970.
Right, okay.
When the estate down Prince's Road towards where the swimming pool is now started being built up. When I started on the buses in 74, we had started running a service down into the Prince's Road area.
Right. So hang on, let's go back to, say, 2005, a little bit nearer to the time. And I walked down to, you know the road Seaside, which is on the 259?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So I was on the case of reenactment of Irene Munro, who was a young woman of about 23 or something. And she was murdered, brutally murdered by a stone on the head, bang. And these two blokes, they went to prison. I think they hanged for it. And they had taken her down onto the Crumbles, not far from where she lived. Now, when you look, I'm sorry everybody else who has no idea where we're talking about, but it's just this, it used to be this great big extended beach that came inland quite a bit. But somehow they've managed to build on it. But I went there and was walking on the Crumbles. Not in video, it was on a podcast, on audio, and I was scrabbling about, not looking for the body, because the body had been retrieved and all that, and there's police records at that place up near Kew Gardens, where the record centre is, and I went there, and I had a look in the box, and you could see the murder pictures. You could actually have a look at the gruesome, and you see this poor girl with her head bashed in, the police photographs. Anyway, I remember walking on some of this spare land. Is there any of it left?
Virtually none.
So the last bit must have been built after 2005 then, in the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah, I mean, my videos about the harbour, in number 3, which I did for the Vogue show on New Year's Day, that's the last bit of the Crumbles being built on now.
Right.
They're just building the last few houses there now.
Gosh.
So it gradually started in about 1969 at the Prince's Road end. Yeah. And it's just spread all the way across over all this time. You had the what they call Langley Point Estate to start with.
Right.
Then it came across into the harbour south.
So it's likely the area that I walked on has now gone.
I would think so. Yes.
In the last 15 years.
Yes, more than likely. Yep.
Blimey.
There's just a small piece left up between the harbour and the sea, but even that's now finally getting a few places built on it.
Gosh.
So yes, that's all gone now. All gone.
And it was only 100. Well, when was it? 1930 something.
1920, 1922, 23 time, I think it was.
What, the murder?
The famous Crumbles murder mystery. Yes, I think where the body was discovered is probably, if my memory serves me correctly, it's in the area that's now got Cunningham Drive running over it. It's in that area somewhere.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah.
There was a strange ending to that story. Apparently, the detective who did most of the work on that liked Eastbourne so much, he bought a house in St Anthony's Avenue.
Oh, did he?
And that house was bought by somebody who used to be a regular traveller on the buses, who was a chiropodist, and he told me about the history of it.
Wow.
So that's quite interesting. But yes, it's very sad to see the Crumbles gone now. But quite interesting when you think about it, because I'm going to be doing a short video about it. I've been trying to work out why, according to my records, the Martello Towers were not, or didn't appear to be, 3/4 of a mile apart. And they came inland, to the inland end of the Crumbles. And where you were standing, in St Anthony's Avenue, might have noticed the road going up on the left, Rotunda Road, going up to a house right on top of a hill there. And that was built where Martello Tower number 68 was.
And it's gone now?
And, that went in 1900. That's all gone and built up now.
Oh, right.
That just shows you how far inland the Crumbles used to come.
Yeah.
So the Martello Towers were actually, in fact, built around in a semicircle. You can't even think about it now, but at the time...
Unrecognisable. Is that what you're saying?
That was the seafront.
Yeah, so it's completely unrecognisable in all that time.
Oh, if anybody came back now from 100 and odd years ago and looked at it, they'd say...
That's not it.
It's not it. We don't recognise it.
We don't recognise. This isn't the place. Take me to where I was murdered. This isn't the place.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, it would be...
Other people from Eastbourne may have other little bits of information, but
yes,
basically, yes, it's all filled in now, and the last
I don't know quite what got
up.
me onto this evening. Something came up, reminded me of the Crumbles, and I thought, oh yeah, there was a murder there. I did a thing about that, and then I had a look to see. Let's see if I can have a look at that. And maybe it was watching your video that triggered my mind. Anyway, I had a look, and then I couldn't believe, looking at Google Images, just boom, gone. But so recently, that's what's so bloody scary. Anyway, we better move on. But thank you very much for calling in, Bernie, and we've got one of your videos coming up.
No, sorry if the sound quality wasn't particularly good. It happens.
Yeah, no, don't worry about that. It's all good.
Okay, then.
Take care. All the best.
Bye.
Bye-bye. There we are. That was Bernie answering a quick call out from the old Vobie One-Eyed Kenobi. Sean James Cameron says, Mr. Justice Avery, or Avory or something, stated, Field and Grey. Oh, yes, that's right. Field and Grey. Field and Grey, you hang by the neck until you were dead, and that your bodies will be afterwards buried within the precincts of the prisons of Wandsworth Prison. There we go. They were Field and Grey. It's interesting, though, even murderers back then wore trilby hats. There's a picture of them. I've got somewhere. I went up to, I don't know how we got onto this subject, but I went up to the Kew Gardens, whatever it's called, where they've got all of the reservoir of information. And I remember asking for the box, and the box came out, and you open up the box, and you can sit there. And I was allowed to take photographs, and I have got photographs of the police photographs of this dead woman who was murdered, and then there's pictures of Field and Grey who were later charged with it, although they denied it, I believe. Anyway, very famous murder in Eastbourne. There was a couple of other murders. There was one in Innis Road, if I remember rightly, and there was one with Sophia Money, I think. She was another one. And then there was the woman from the trunk murder woman. I think there was another one. Anyway, lots of interesting stuff. I'll have to dig them all out, get the podcasts out, but very, very interesting. We sell a lot of toffee crumbles, says Steve Baker. You did tell me that, actually, in the last show. Looking forward to your open day so we can get down there and taste some of the licorice. That's what I'm after. Robert Croser says there's possibilities around every corner and behind every store, every stone. Possibilities. I will go back on the beach and see if there is possibilities under every stone. You never know. And David Ved says Mike was at Listen with Vobes today. That's nice. And Michael says it's Mike's birthday today, Andrew. And Kerry Baldwin is saying we had some fantastic birding there. Great northern diver, smew and other winter birds. Marvellous. Well, I'm very pleased to hear about that. I think we'll kick off with Bernie's video, because Bernie's brought in a video and he's back. He's back. He's back from up there. Do you remember the last time he was looking at rainbows and fairies and big fat ugly canary? No, he wasn't. Not ugly canaries. He was up there on Snowdonian, wasn't he? Mountain climbing, taking pictures. Well, he's back now in Eastbourne. Thank goodness he has returned safely. Now, with any luck, the system is still working okay, because we had a few issues earlier. So let's see if it's going. We'll get into the video box. And, oh, blimey, look at that. It's all changed. You can't even see me. I'm right over in the corner here. I've got to go over here for you to see. What's going on with this? And which way is it? That way? Yeah, the lovely Julia is not there. I'm not quite sure what's happened to the system this week. But thank you to Nigel Sadler. I don't know if Mr. Sadler is out there. Thank you to Mr. Sadler for sorting out the, this extra background. It looks great. Really does. Anyway, meanwhile, Bernie has brought in a lovely video, so let's check him out.
We're coming up to the Redoubt Fortress. Just zoom in on the top of it there. The Martello Towers had all been completed by about 1805, and I think almost after the horse had bolted, they then built a series of what they call these great redoubts. There's another one in good state of preservation at New Haven Fort, and these was to house the regiments of soldiers that were sent here to help guard against the French. Although this wasn't completed till about 1810, 1812. Look. You once upon a time you could get as far as the gates, but not now. The only thing I can show you is that it's was probably moated in its time. What a situation though, hey? Right, let's have a look and see if we can. Yes, tells you all about the moat. Now, in here was the old, what was the Eastern Bandstand at one time, but in recent years it's been the Pavilion Tea Rooms, and now it's become a little bit of a heritage centre, a museum. I wonder whether that was the actual site of the old bandstand. Yes, this building here, that's now called the Pavilion, was Redoubt Cafe, and then it became the Pavilion Tea Room and went all upper class with I was on the 10th horse. I used to call them our local nippy girls, remembering Lyons corner houses. I always used to wonder why some of the old girls used to look at me funny. And then I found out that the nippy girls, in many cases, were offering other services as well as tea and cake, without the bosses knowing. I think Joe Lyons would have had a fit. A lovely sunrise. And this is where Royal Parade turned into Marine Parade. And I then proposed to walk along there. There's too many closed hotels. It's a rather sad affair. But there's the pier.
There's the pier. How lovely to see the pier. Thank you so much, Bernie. I'm just going to try and get back into a bigger size. There we go. I can go bigger, by the way. I can get myself back. Look, there we are. I can be even much bigger than that. It's very easy. We're using special technical science. But if I do that, you see, you've got the phone number and you can give me a tinkle. Couple of things. Now I remember how I got onto the Crumbles business, because what it was, I was watching Bernie's video before we went live, and he makes that remark, and he looks down to the little bandstand or the summer house or whatever it was by the pavilion there, and he said, I wonder if that's where the original bandstand was. And I thought, you could just look on old maps and have a look. So I went to side-by-side maps and pulled up an old map from 1900 and then 1914. And the curious thing there was not only was not the pavilion or indeed a bandstand marked, but neither was the redoubt fortress. Now, I can understand that, because you wouldn't want the Frenchies to know where they are, clearly. So there was none of that. And it was whilst I was looking at that, I happened to see this massive area, and I went, oh yeah, that's the Crumbles. So then I happened to glance at the side-by-side, which had the modern day, and it had all these buildings on. I thought, wait a minute, I walked on the Crumbles. Hang on, that can't be right. And that's what led me back to the Irene Monroe murder and all of that. So now I've managed to sort that out. Interesting, I used to perform at the Redoubt Fortress that you showed there, Bernie, on the bonfire night, blowing fire and all of that. I used to do all of that kind of stuff. For years and years and years I did that, actually, on firework display night. In the end, I got a bit fed up with it because I used to get covered in paraffin and set myself alight. The other thing I noticed is, although you said it may have filled up with water in the moat on the area, but if you notice on that sign, it did actually read, because I managed to see it a couple of times, it said that no water was ever put into the moat area because it was built on shingle. So anyway, I just happened to notice that. But fascinating stuff. Best part was the lovely light. Here we are, we've got a phone call. Hang on, put the old phone of heads on and see who's there. Hello, caller. Welcome to the Vobes Show.
Hello, Vobes, calling from the Vobes Show.
Hello, is that up there in Greenwich?
No, this is down there in Essex.
Oh, are you in Essex now? Where are you at the moment then?
It's Ed Loud, for those who hadn't realised. I'm just looking after my dad in Essex. He's not too well. He's come out of hospital, so...
Oh, blimey.
Back to the old caring game. But,
yeah, goodness.
I don't know anything better, so I'm almost enjoying it.
Oh, well, at least, I mean, you've got nice company. That's the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I've never got to spend a lot of time with my dad because obviously I was looking after Grandad all my adult life. So,
yeah.
And Dad's a lot easier to look after than Grandad because Grandad had dementia, whereas my dad, he's dying from a liver condition, but his brain is all there. So, yeah. I can sit him down with a cup of tea and say, right, I'll be back in 20 minutes. I'm going to have a shower.
Right.
But Grandad wouldn't stay there. Grandad would get up and cause havoc and break his leg, the poor old sod. So,
yeah. Is that how long you take to have a shower then? 20 minutes?
Yeah, 20 minutes if I'm in a hurry.
Right, I'm just going to write that down. Ed Loud,
Yeah,
20 minutes.
you know
I just
what?
like to keep a tag on everybody, and now I've got some personal information about you, which, if you suddenly turn nasty on me, I can at least say, well, I know that Ed spends 20 minutes in the shower, mate. You know what I mean? I could let that out into public knowledge. Oh, wait a minute. We've just done that, haven't we? Oh, that's scrub that out. Everybody knows now.
You're not telling me people are watching this.
Well, no. This is just a private conversation between you and me and 121 others. Well, 120 others. Well, take me away. 119 then. And then whoever watches it after. Yeah, so that's one of them. I'm sure somebody there will be able to make use of that information.
Yeah. Oh, especially if they're selling shower gel.
Yeah, that's it. You'll have a lot of spam. Do you know, talking to spam, not that we got onto that subject, but I don't know whether you noticed I put a spam video on where somebody rang me up and not spam, scam, different thing. They were trying to sell me spam. Would you like some spam? No, I'd rather have a scam. One of them, it's something like 28,000 views.
It doesn't surprise me, really. It's
I'm giving up heritage, landscape and nature. I'm not going to bother with that. I'm just going to ring up in funny voices myself and just go, hello, mate, would you like to buy this, that, the other? We're going to test your house. It's going to be... And I'm just going to make up a whole load of scams, not spams. I don't know where spam came into it. This is the never-ending cable. Oh, Christ.
Yeah, just phone yourself up.
Yeah, because...
Hello. I'll show you a bit of everything, please.
Yes, exactly, because those videos, I was talking to my son Billy, and he said they don't realise that actually, they're ringing up to fleece you, and they say, oh, hello there, we can fix you this, that, and the other. And of course, and I should be saying to them, thank you so much. Thank you. You do not realise how much money I am making. What do you mean, making money? We're trying to fleece you, not the other way around. No. Actually, I'm making a fortune, thank you very much, by putting this conversation on YouTube. And all the adverts, I'm getting the advert revenue. So,
And it's a nice bonus to those Clockwork Oranges you sell.
I sell quite a few. I used to sell only 7 a year, but now I've pushed it up to 14. We've got double the amount. Oh, yes.
Oh,
and one of these days
I've got to tell you a confession.
Yeah, go on.
Be shocked. Me and Alex have sat here tonight and we've ate junk food.
Oh.
Junk food. Can you believe it?
The last time you rang up and you said you were eating junk food, what is it with you young people and food that comes out the junk?
It's Alex's fault. She doesn't deserve to be so slim. It's all her fault. I'm blaming her. I mean,
what do you mean she doesn't deserve it? She goes for a walk for 4 hours a day.
Oh, so do I. That's nothing. People look at me.
What do you mean that's nothing? Why? Yeah, but you should be losing the weight if you're doing the 4 hours.
No. It's the fairies, you see. It's all down to them.
The fairies? Well, don't get on the fairies. You could don't get on them. Where are you going on these fairies? That's what I want to know. Isle of Wight? Isle of Man?
No, yeah. That's one of the keys that Alex does so much better than me.
Yeah.
She allows herself a cheat day. And I never used to do that. I would obsess, and sometimes if you obsess too much or something, you don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
So Alex taught me that. She's done a really good job with it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a couple of times a week we'll sit down and eat some junk food and just relax a bit,
So hang on a minute. Are you suggesting then that cooking your own food is not relaxing? I find it very relaxing there, peeling the potatoes, accidentally missing, pulling off the skin off my little finger. Oops.
I think if you're busy and stressed and things like that, maybe once a week it's nice to unwind. Maybe you don't have to necessarily eat in a sense where you're worried about your health on that day. Doesn't mean that you have to order a takeaway or something. You can still cook for yourself, but maybe have something a bit fatty, a bit high in salt, as long as it's not every day. So
Julia did that the other day.
Julia
had been on a health kick, bless her, and she had a Chinese with the family, and then she was throwing up everywhere.
Yeah, it does happen. I've noticed also with what we would call Chinese food in England, a lot of the time it's not so well made, I've got to say.
Well, I tell you what, there's a few Chinese round here, and since they've opened, we don't have any more rats, so that's quite handy.
It wouldn't surprise me. Would you like to say hello to Alex? She's hanging around.
No, I don't want to. Not if she's hanging. But if she's on 2 feet, I'll happily say hello.
Yeah, of course. Here she is.
Hello.
Hello. How are you, Alex?
Good, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, no, I'm very well. So, what's this about Ed and you eating junk food?
Yeah. Well, I've been eating junk food today. I've been eating well the rest of the week, you know. Been keeping up with my walking. I've done 2.5 hours walking today, so...
Oh, excellent.
Think I deserve a treat.
Yeah, so, I guess, I mean, if it's a treat, that's one thing, isn't it? If it's every day, it's something else. I mean, I don't understand how people can afford to eat junk food because it seems so expensive.
Oh, yeah, I definitely couldn't afford it every day. I know some people who do it every day, like have a takeaway. I'm like, how do you afford that? Like, you must have a job that's, like, really, really well paid.
Yeah. I
could never afford that.
What's the favourite of all the junk foods that you can buy? What's your favourite one?
I mean, my favourite cuisine is probably like Indian food, so I probably usually would go for like quite a spicy curry.
Right. Okay. What do you call a spicy curry? What would be that? If I was looking on a menu, thinking, what shall I choose?
I usually go for lamb naga. That's quite nice.
Oh, right. A lamb what?
It's called lamb naga. It's got like the ghost pepper in, so I think that's like the third hottest chili in the world. So.
Did you say ghost pepper?
Yeah.
Is that like, it's not really there? They just tell you it's there and you've got to look for it and you go, well, where's this pepper then? Oh, it's the ghost pepper, madam. Yeah, did the ghost pepper. You didn't. But I can't see it. No, it doesn't always appear. Is that how it is? Sorry, that's probably cultural inappropriate. I'll probably get shut down now. Wait a minute. I'm going to wait for the woke phone to ring. Woke. Oh, hello. Is that the woke phone? All right, you cannot do this to it. We want to sell your computer. Well, you can't sell it. Thank you very much. That's very good. A ghost pepper. I shall have to see if I can cook one of those on the old Vobes One-Eye Kenobi Shobi at some point.
Yeah, it used to be the hottest, I believe, but the last few years, a couple of the chilies have overtaken it.
Oh, have they? Oh, right, okay. So do you like chilies over... Because chili isn't... I thought chili was a Mexican thing. Was it? It's not an Indian thing. They have spices like... whatever it is. Oh, my God.
I mean, in their curries, they have all different spices, but then they tend to put chili in as well, so... It really depends on the curry, but I do like a curry like that has still a bit of flavour, but it does have heat, because something like a vindaloo I don't find really has much flavour. It's just got pure heat, but It's nice when it's got some authentic flavours and a bit of heat, but you can still taste something more than just chili.
Absolutely, yeah. No, well, I don't really eat very many curries, and if I do, I make them myself, and I don't make them very often because I can't be bothered with all that pestle and mortar business, rather than the instant powder stuff. That would taste horrible. But I used to do it when I was with a lady friend of mine called Harriet. She was very much into the pestle and mortar and all the sort of nutmeg this and the whatever these brown beads of something and smash them up, and she'd always get me to do it. I'd have to do all the hefting. We'd be there for hours doing this thing with the hefty. That looks rude, actually, what I'm now doing, but it wasn't, because I had a proper, I'm miming it now, which makes it even worse.
Ed is pulling faces at me now. I think he's desperate to talk to you again.
Oh, right, okay, shove him back on then. Nice to talk to you,
Hello,
Alex.
Everyone.
Hello, Ed.
Hello. Yeah, the Naga curry that Alex mentioned is made with a pickle called Naga pickle.
Oh, Naga pickle.
Yeah, it is usually made with something akin to a ghost pepper. Obviously comes from the Naga region of India.
Ah, right.
And you can get it in this country quite easily if you go to a cash and carry where they sell Indian food.
Right.
Often made in jars called Mr. Naga.
I did go to a cash and carry one time. It was very good, cash and carry. I went in there with a large box and they just filled it up with £50 notes and I took them out. It was very useful. It cost a fortune.
I completely agree with her on the vindaloo. It's just bland.
Yeah.
It's not made like the original vindaloo at all. But me and Alex, I got Alex into the Naga, and because it's got this pickle added to it, it adds such a depth to the flavour rather than just adding, just heat. Plain chilies that just, burn your socks off.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm totally with her there. I have to lay off the food that's too hot nowadays. I was fine till a few years ago. and the doctor says I just had too much of it, and my guts can't take it anymore.
No,
so
can't.
I can take it now and then, but if I do it every day like I used to, I really suffer for it. So,
Gosh. Yes, I must be very old-fashioned because, I mean, I just have, a couple of potatoes and a carrot and that's about it, really. There's a couple of those.
Nothing wrong with that. Do you know, my diet most days is just vegetables and lentil soups with my bread that I bake.
Exactly. I do I make a nice vegetable broth with a slice of homemade bread and a bit of old-fashioned real butter. Lovely. Can't beat that.
Yeah. Can't beat it. Anyway, I better let you get on with the show.
Oh, very well. Thank you very much.
To be honest, I thought I'd let Alex cheer everybody up.
Yes, she did.
Hear my voice.
Yeah, no, it was lovely. Lovely to hear the pair of you. See, you get 2 for the price of 1. It doesn't cost as much.
Definitely. All right, take care.
Look after yourself.
Everybody.
Bye, Ed. There we are. That was Ed Loud and the Curry Fest in his house, and of course the takeaway, which is very nice. I would like people to take mine away. Junk food, they can take that away from me. I don't need it. What have we got going on in the comments? We've got a lot of stuff going on. Robin Jones says Station Master's Choice. It's because they're fed on cheap fish meal. And Linda Kane's talking to Woody Jenny. Red Moon Conjure says, I became vegetarian last year after being ill every time I ate chicken from Tesco's. Yes, I have stopped now. I have stopped buying meat products from the supermarkets. I do very rarely have a little bit of beef. I won't buy chicken anymore. I think that's awful. I love pork and I love bacon. I love chops, pork chops. I won't buy them from the supermarket. I just totally disagree with the way they treat the animals in factory produce. I got to find somewhere a bit more local. Josephine Suter, I need to zip back to her lovely place at the butcher's there and get some real meat. And I only use, I've mentioned this before, I only use meat now as a garnish. So it's mainly vegetables. We just got to change this process because it's, I'm not a vegetarian, I'm not a vegan, but I do think that if you're going to eat meat, and I do like meat, I think it's good for you to eat meat. But I think if you are going to sacrifice animals, then I think you've got to give them a little bit more respect, a hell of a lot more respect, than the atrocious way that they are bred and serviced at the moment. I think we have made a blundering mistake there. But because we are so removed from the food that we eat, we don't see it, and so we don't have to think about it. And that's the worst part. I think if you bred your own animals and you ate them, you'd have a hell of a lot more respect for them. Buy meat from Sussex peasants, says Bonnie. Where do you find a Sussex peasant these days? They've all got BMWs. Dave says, get some venison, Richard. Yeah, you can keep your venison. Thanks very much. I hope it's not venison season. Robin Jones says, you are still making breads? Yes, I am making bread. I make bread at least twice a week. It's absolutely delicious. Homemade bread. I can't go back to... Sometimes there have been a couple of occasions in the last year where I've just run out and I've thought, oh, bugger. And I've gone across to the thing and I've bought what would be the nearest equivalent to the bread that I'm making, wholemeal or something like that. And it's tasteless. It's just so tasteless. And you just think, why are people putting up with bland? I put up with bland for years. Bland bread. Bland. You should ban bland bread. Shouldn't be allowed. Sean Ford says, have you ever made a cooking show, Richard? I have done a couple of cooking videos. I'm not an expert in it. I never know what herb goes with what dish. That's my problem. But once Billy's gone and they're out the end of this week, I tell you, we will be doing some Essie shows, live cooking shows. We'll be doing more of those. I've got my mixing desk and I'm going to set cameras up in there. We're going to set up the studio. We're going to do more cooking shows, and hopefully the lovely Julie will come and help me. Sean James says, are you still having a veg box? At the moment, I'm not having a veg box. They just got too expensive, really. And also, whilst I completely agree with the principle, I would like to get a veg box from I want local food, not food from down in Devon or wherever it is. I want the supermarkets to be supporting farmers here. I don't want to see farmers growing swathes of 1 or 2 crops and sending them out to distributors, and then they go to whomever buys the, spends the most and all of that. I don't want that. I absolutely want, it's not what I want that's going to happen, of course, but I would like to see the farmers locally around here being supported, so that anybody who wanted to start up a small little farm could make a go of it, that you don't need to have all this agrochemical crap and all these big tech stuff. I know we've got a farmer who's on the Board Explorer, and I would like to see it much more localised. I was hoping that the COVID thing would actually spring people to think about their health, but it doesn't seem to. And local food. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. Hello, anybody there? 2 raps for yes, 2 raps for no. I'll take your second answer. Okay, well, you didn't win the 64,000 million prize. Do ring again if you have got a number. That would be absolutely fantastic. We've got a photograph here, ladies and gentlemen, to show you. This is from Robin Jones. Also, we got some from Mark Burgess. He's got a question for his sister, wants to know some stuff. But before all of that... Oh, hang on. We've got this phone call again. Let's see if we've got it this time. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show.
Good evening, Mr. Vobes.
Ah, good evening. Who's that?
Good evening.
Hello?
Yeah.
You're coming and going. I'm not quite sure why. It must be the signal.
It's probably the signal.
Ah, who is it? Hello? Hello? Is anybody there? Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know who that was. Who was that? Was it Mark Donny McLeod? Mark Donny McLeod. What's the matter with your phone? Why is the signal not working? We want to talk to you. We're desperate to talk. Desperate. I'm desperate most of the time. I'm pretty irate the other bits of the time. Let's have a look at this. In the Vobes gallery tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Robin Jones has sent in a wobbin, he says. It's a wobbin. It's a lovely wobbin. After his name, he says, trust you had a great and fruitful day. Yes, thank you. He said, here's a picture of a robin taken at Warnham Nature Reserve near Horsham. And let's have a lovely look at this fantastic warren. This fantastic robin. Here it is. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? There you go, isn't that? That is absolutely fantabulous. And it's got a lovely... Now, didn't we see somewhere, somebody said you can tell the difference between a man robin and a female robin? I can't remember what it is now. Or was it a video I watched? I have no idea. But absolutely stunning. They're lovely, aren't they? Inquisitive little creatures. They can come up close to you. You almost think that they're going to eat out of the palm of your hand. If you can wrap them in a bit of Parma ham, then you can... I don't know where I'm going with that joke. Thank you very much. It didn't sound very good, did it? Anyway, there we are. Thank you very much, Robin. Very much appreciated that. That's lovely. How about that? Also, in the video email box, this is Mark Burgess. He says, any chance, Richard? Any chance? I said, of course there's a chance. He said, any chance you could ask the audience if anyone confirm this artwork was created by the actress Jane Seymour? A friend of his wants to know. So let's have a look. Now, the first one, I think, is a photograph. Let's have a look. Does anybody know the work of Jane Seymour, the actress? Can anyone name any films she was in? So this is one of those Native Americans with the strange hairdo, which has a sort of tomahawk sticking it. No, it's a feather, I beg your pardon. It's not a robin's feather. And then this, I think, is the artwork. But is that there? Does that say Jane Seymour? February 1986, I think that says. So is that... can anyone tell me? Yes, she was on the art show. That looks like it's been done out of crayon, out of chalk or something. So there we are. Is that the work of Jane Seymour? Let me know. I'll be very interested. Well, Mark would be interested more than to be honest. And I'm interested, in a vague sort of way. So that would be good. And I've just noticed that Bonnie has sent playing a musical instrument. She's just sent it in. So we're going to see if we can bring that to you as well. Mark Donny McLeod, did you have any joy with the phone number? 0793 4746 790 is the number. Has he mentioned anything there? It's just, you're the 6 wives of Henry VIII, he says. David Keel, you can attract robins to you by using a bird sound app on your phone. I tried it once, and both times they came over to me out of nowhere. Nowhere. That's interesting. And John B says, I really like to look up into at Norris. Might have a look on YouTube. Not quite. That's something else. Pastel. Oh, is it pastels? That was the Jane Seymour does lovely portraits, says Bonnie. Oh, interesting. Right. Let's see if this is downloaded then. Hang on. She's going to play a tune now. Unfortunately, she sent this in this way instead of that way. I keep asking people, if you do make videos for the show, don't do it in portrait mode. Nobody films in portrait mode. It's the most stupidest mode in the world. Film it in that mode, landscape, because we see in landscape. Just so you know for future. I know people on Instagram does it. Now, I've got to try and import this into the show somehow. So we'll go into the... I can play it here. I wonder if I can play... Oh, you won't be able to hear it. That's the thing. Hang on a minute. Stop, Bonnie, stop. Sorry, she was playing it in the wrong place. I beg your pardon. Right, we've got to find the file, open the folder containing, there it is. Oh, I bet you it won't play because is it on an iPhone? Yes, I know what it is. It's on an iPhone. It probably won't play, but I'll give it a whirl. Let's have a look. We'll go in the video box. And in the video box tonight, let's see if this will play. Oh. There we go.
To play a tune.
This is Bonnie, the wrong way round. So hang on a second. Sorry, Bonnie. This is where doing it live is always great fun. Somewhere there's a transform option here. Transform. And what do we want to do? Rotate clockwise. Something like that. Yeah. But you see what I mean? Because it's come in a strange format... I'm having to do this live, and I'm hoping we can hear this at the same time. We'll put her over here, look, next to the Vobes, so we can... She's going to play... What is that instrument? A saxophone, I think. A saxophone. So let's see if you can hear that. You may hear it. I may not. Hang on, let's just bring her back to the beginning. And here it is.
Attempt to play a tune.
And there we are. Bonnie, what was that? Give us a call. Ring on 0793 4746 790. So that was very lovely. Thank you very much for sending it in. I got to get out of that into there. There we go. That's better. This is amazing, isn't it? We can do so much just live on the show. It's all so very jolly. So do tell me, what was that tune? How long have you been playing the saxophone? James says the audience is quite quiet. Sorry about that. Put your volume back up, says Sean James, whatever. We played it, mate. It's over. We've done it. Well done, Bonnie. Turn the sound back up, says Mark Donny McLeod. Well, I've done it. Oh, sorry, my voice. I thought you meant her. I thought you meant the voice of. Yeah, sorry about that. There we are. Turn my volume back up. I didn't know what you were talking about. I give up today. I've had one of those days. You're a bit quiet. Gone quiet. Yes, all right. I've got it now. Turn your volume up. Yes. Bloody people get on your nerves after a while. Yes, my volume is now nice and loud. Thank you. Alexa, order 400 cans of baked beans. Alexa, play the theme to the Battle of Britain. Alexa, start to turn on the water taps in the bathroom. There, that's confused a few people just to get them going. Here we go. Now, somebody ringing in. Who the hell is that? Let's find out. Hello, caller. Welcome to the Vobes One-Eye Kenobi show.
Put your volume up.
I have put my sodding volume up. Don't you start. Hello?
That's all I wanted to say.
Is that all you wanted to say? My volume is up. It's up.
Well, it's fine now. But it wasn't.
Yeah, I know it wasn't, but I've done it. I've worked it out.
Oh, well, I'm just wanting to tell you for those people that are watching on the delay.
Oh, yeah. Well, they won't ring me, will they? What's the point of them ringing? I wonder how much... Do you know, when I turn my phone on at the beginning of the show, actually, that's an interesting point. Those people who've watched the show after it's gone out, I reckon they ring up. They'll say,
still phone?
Yeah, I think they phone after, because I turn on my phone and there's all these messages. You've had this message, missed call from so-and-so, missed call from so-and-so. In the middle of the night, at any different time, you think, who are people? This is my studio phone, ladies and gentlemen. It goes off at the end of the show because I don't want to be interrupted. Thank you. Because I got a life, you know? People don't believe that, but I do. And
why don't you leave the phone on, and then you could record an extra show just for the patrons?
Yeah, I could do. Thank you. I work hard enough as it is. I don't get enough free time. Thank you very much. That's a good suggestion.
How's your rhubarb doing?
Do you know? Yeah, my rhubarb disappeared completely. There's nothing. Absolutely, it's still in the pot. I didn't do anything else with it.
Put it the right way up, did you?
I didn't touch it. You sent it in the post. I shoved it in. You saw it. I brought it into the studio. You saw it. And it was big leaves and all of that. Huge, great...
You know what I think the issue might have been?
Yeah,
because you've got it in the front garden, haven't you?
Well, what difference does that make? It's in the sun.
No, I'm thinking passing dogs might have come in.
Passing dogs, eh? You mean...
cocked a leg.
Cocked a hoot at it, did they?
Oh.
So, I mean, how long will it take for it to erect itself?
Maybe it's just busy putting down the roots.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I should have shoved it in the actual garden. I tell you what's happened.
And then after the snow of Easter has gone, it might just spring up.
Snow, of course. We're still getting this. You told me we were getting snow in March. We haven't got any snow at all. You said it was going to hail tomorrow. We had a bit of rain earlier. I'm not listening.
Well, it's supposed to hail tomorrow first. I'm putting up a fence for somebody.
Oh, are you?
It's supposed to have hail.
Yeah, well, you can take the day off, put your feet up, watch a couple of Vobes shows.
Oh, I watch enough of that bloke now.
Yeah, he's terrible. He's an awful bloke, especially
Between
when he gets ratty.
podcasts at breakfast, reading in the afternoon, shows in the night.
I don't know. How'd you put up with it?
Oh, I just need to get a life.
I know. Him and me too.
I need to get a van and get out in it.
I know. Well, I'm waiting for them to open the bloody floodgates. We'll all be out. That's the trouble. As soon as we're all allowed to... I
took a bit of inspiration from you this afternoon.
Oh, yeah?
I thought, I haven't put up one of Sean's rambling videos for a while because there's too many people outside in the forestries. So I thought, I need to go to the hardware store to get something to fix my ball cock.
Your what?
But that's another story.
Yes, well, if your ball cock's a bit achy, you don't go
so
around...
I filmed my journey to the ball cock shop.
Did you?
And I've put that out, and the Americans are loving it.
Yeah, you'll get 28,000 views like that. What you need to do... Here's the secret.
Phone me tomorrow
and
try and sell me something so I can put up a video.
I was going to say, that's the way to make money out of YouTube, is just, don't actually follow what you want to do. Don't do shows of the sort of thing that you want. Do these dreadful, get on a bike, a wobbly bike, with a wobbly camera on a spring that's bouncing about like this, and just say, going for a bike ride to see the greengrocer, and have it wobbling about like that, and you'll get 28 billion views. Do something that actually takes a bit of time and a bit of photography and a bit of, art and craft.
A friend of mine had a video that was seen by 30,000 people, and all it was her walking into an English pub, saying, "This is an English pub."
Yeah, see?
And the Americans loved it.
Yeah. I am seriously thinking of knocking this all on the head because
Just stay in the house.
It's all very soul-destroying.
Stay in the house. Sign up for every single online survey that you can find. And just stay there all day.
Well, no.
Recording the calls.
Yes. Well, yes, that's it. That's what you want. You just want to tap into like your mate and his candle and just, you are falling into a deep, deep sleep.
It could just be you and a phone.
And a phone. Yeah, I'll just be here. I could do a live show, couldn't I? I could just keep the thing live and just be going, if you're a scammer, ring in. And I'll be just, waiting. And people might just wait.
Seeing as you're getting the numbers on that video, I'd go back and put a few more ads in.
Yeah.
Scam
the
scammers.
Scam the scammers for the nth degree, yes. No, I don't think it's fair to put... I mean, have you noticed how many bloody adverts are in every sodding video now, unless they've actually, like me, said no adverts in the middle? Yes, at the beginning.
Well, I used to pay for the YouTube membership thing.
Yeah.
And then I realised they were taking the payment twice over the course of 6 months.
Yeah, well, and that's illegal, isn't it?
So I cancelled the whole thing, and now I'm getting annoyed by all the adverts again.
Mm.
But to entice me back, they're giving me a month free, and it's cheaper this time around. So if I hadn't stopped it,
yes,
I'd still be on the higher rate.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're desperate to get you on. They're desperate to get you on to the premiere for YouTube, aren't they? Desperate because it's like every 10 seconds you're watching, ding. But I just refuse. I'm afraid I'm a stick in a mud. I'm not paying that. And if any creator, even the ones I used to like, I've stopped watching them now if they've got adverts in the middle. I just think, well, sod you, you're just being too greedy. Stop being greedy. Make the content, have an advert at the beginning, have an advert at the end, but don't be greedy about it.
Well, I've got a talking point now for you, and then I'll go.
Yeah, go on then.
Boris Johnson has said that pubs might be able to ask for a COVID
passport,
for a vaccine passport to allow people in.
Yeah.
And I know somebody who's travelled into this country this evening to have a jab tomorrow and is travelling out again.
Oh, and you know him?
Can't say any more than that.
What about his name?
Can't say any more than that.
What is his initials? What are the initials? You could tell us that, can't you? That's not going to harm anybody.
Can't say any more than that.
Can't say any more. Is that his catchphrase? Can't say any. Whose catchphrase is can't say any more than that?
I don't know, but it should be. It sounds like it should be somebody.
Yeah. Can't say any more than that.
Shut that door.
Yeah, you shut up. Thank you very much for ringing in. That's Sean James Cameron, who can't say any more than that. Not now, because I've ditched the call. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, how are we doing with the forms of dementia are so cruel? Telling me. Station Master's choices are stick to what I do. I enjoy it. It's a hobby, and even if one person likes what I do, I know I've made a difference. Robin Jones says, I played in a band and couldn't read any music. Bonnie says, I'm eating a chocolate meringue. It's going everywhere. Fantastic. H says, watch on the Brave browser, and you get no ads. The Brave browser. Oh, that's it. What? Can you get a Brave browser on your phone? Agreedy. Thank you, Josephine Suter. And Dean Cooper says, Richard, what has happened to your mountain bike? Do you still ride it? I do occasionally ride it, but I now have a van. Have a van? I do have a van, thank you. Robin Jones says, really more Welsh cobblers. Any LOD fans here, says Bonnie. I had no idea what LOD stands. If that's code, be careful. Michael White says they changed the passports to certificates. They're just moving the goalposts. They've done that ever since the beginning. I totally understand Audrey Forbes Hamilton. Alzheimer's is an awful thing. And Mark's beautiful landscape. He says, would it be a Python catchphrase? I have nothing. It could be. It's the catchphrase is Mousel, Richard, Mousel. Whose catchphrase is that? I seem to remember. I'm coming down to see you, Mark, down there. You think you can hide in Cornwall? Once we've got that red flag lifted and my van is all souped up with the Go Faster stripe, I shall be voomph heading down to you at 30 miles an hour, I can tell you. Jeff in Sussex says, Vobe Show, a load of YouTubers seem always to ask their fellows to share the videos. What's your thoughts on that? Who's going to share it? I think people share it if they just... It's this whole thing, you know, when you get this stupid little thing that says subscribe and a little animated hand comes in. I hate all of that. I hate it all. I hate it all. It all. Hello, listener. I hate it all. How are you?
Do you hate it all?
I hate it. I just bloody hate it all. It's all
Yeah,
getting up my
I bet you
nose.
do.
Who's that? Is that Mark Dunny McLeod?
It is, yeah. You can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. What did you do? What wondrous piece of apparatus are you operating tonight?
Yeah.
You can't hear me though, can you?
Oh, now I can.
Oh,
For
brilliant.
some reason, it keeps.
Are you? Is it an internet?
Still,
Is it an internet phone?
No, it's on my Samsung.
Is it? It's not a very good one. That's all I can say on that.
Bad landline here.
Ah, bad
signal here.
Yeah,
from your mobile.
I can hear you now.
Right, good. I've had to stand up and stand by the window.
Yeah, it's like the old days.
Ah.
Anyway, how can I help you?
Oh, going back a little bit, back in time. Yeah. You know, you were talking about like food and supermarkets, right? Well, I happen to, this might upset a few people, but I did actually work for a certain supermarket, and I worked at the place where they and the abattoir where they cut the meat.
Oh, did you?
Yes. Now, the thing is, this is the thing with that particular supermarket chain.
Yeah.
The one that emanated from Bradford.
Right. In what?
Right.
In 1899 or something.
Yeah. So what it was is their specific thing is, if we have to kill an animal,
yeah,
everything of that animal is to be used.
Right.
Nothing is to be wasted. So, and also with the point where, up until a certain time, I think it was about like 3 years ago, they were using stunners to kill animals.
Right.
They've changed that now.
So not beautiful blondes?
No.
Not that kind of stunner?
No, not that kind of stunner, no.
Okay.
You know, they used to use the bolt gun.
Yeah.
They don't use bolt guns anymore.
Right.
So what happens now is they go into a nice shed, like within the building, underneath the building.
Yeah.
With nice, calming music and low lights and warm and all that business.
And what? This is like cattle and pigs and things are coming in going,
yeah.
Well, this is nice.
They do cattle, pigs and sheep. No?
Yeah.
So they go into that area.
Yeah.
And then what happens is, at a certain time, when they're going to do the slaughter, before they do the slaughter, what they do is all the entrances are sealed off. The air is sealed off. They extract some of the air and they pump in carbon dioxide. So what happens is they just drop, fall asleep. Boom.
Oh, I see. They don't asphyxiate.
They don't asphyxiate. They just, what happens is when they breathe in, it just poisons them. Boom.
But not in a nasty way.
Not in a nasty way. So they just go to sleep. Boom.
Oh, right.
And once they're asleep, and then the vet goes, there's 4 vets there that go around and check. And they check the animals to make sure that they're down. And then everything is watched. Everything is watched. There's cameras everywhere. So every part of that process is watched. The process of where I used to be, where carcasses were coming through and you would cut sections off as it passed along the line. All that is watched. You are in PPE from head to toe. There are health and safety workers walking around, which is what I became in the end. We walk around and we watch, we make sure everyone is obeying the health and safety laws and the food safety laws. It's very, very strict. When you finish your shift, you go through a halon cleaner thing. So you go through this thing and it washes your boots, and then you get this spray stuff that comes down from above, and that is an antiseptic and cleans any microbe off you. So when you go through that section, no microbe goes in, no microbe comes out. And then you go, even if you're just going for a pee, you know, it's a long process. Then you've got to get changed out of your normal stuff, your work clothes, put on your normal clothes, go and have a wee, go back, you know, get changed, clean and everything, wash your hands, all that business. Then you go back into your PPE, then you can go back in the factory, and I'll be stood there with a little tube and a little stick, waiting for people to come by and pass it over their hands, and then do a check to make sure they've actually cleaned their hands before I let them back in the factory. That's how strict it is. So all the meat that goes from that particular place serves their own supermarket plus 2 or 3 others. So I just sort of let you know, it's not sort of, this isn't sort of like, we're just, and the thing is, over the last few years, the numbers have been decreasing. So what they're saying now is less people are eating meat, more people are going vegan, vegetarian, whatever. We're cutting back on the amount of animals we have to slaughter because the market's decreasing. So if people want to stop the animals, going through the process at that amount, cut down your food, cut down your meat. In fact, I would say myself personally, I have cut red meat out of my diet completely. I don't eat any red meat. I do eat white meats, but I have them sort of like once a week, if that. And to me, it's like you were saying, I think it was last week you were mentioning it, as a garnish, not as the main thing of the meal. So your vegetables and all that, the main thing of your meal. Your meat is the garnish. If you go back into when our parents were around,
yes,
when they were going through the war and stuff, imagine living on a ration pack.
Yeah.
One of those rations, and the tickets and all that. Now, I know people used to like keep rabbits and all that, but the thing is, to actually exist, you don't need that much meat in your diet.
No.
Because we live a sedentary life. Not many of us do that kind of harder where those kind of foods are necessary.
Yes.
To give you that amount of protein that you need, all that thing. If you're working on a farm and you're going around like you're working 18 hours a day in a vigorous job, fair enough. But most of us don't.
No.
And this is a problem where we have problems with our bodies, with our health, because we're eating more complex foods than we actually need.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And also there's the point whereby you're eating the wrong foods at the wrong time. I've changed my diet right round now, and it's so much better. I mean, I have my breakfast at 6 a.m. when I get up. I have my last meal in the evening at 6 o'clock. And I don't eat anything then until the following morning. Now, I might have a couple of brews, 2 or 3 brews in the evening, and the rest of the time I'm on water. Because if you've got nothing sitting in your system, in your intestines, in your stomach, and all that business, it's less chance that that's going to turn into the wrong kind of fat while you're sleeping or sitting about. If you're not burning off that fat, it's going to sit on your body and cause you damage to your body. So you only take in what you need to take in. Some people go too far. They cut fat out of the diet wrong. You should have the amount of fat in your diet. It comes down to balance. The right things with the right amounts. And that you find, I've found that my health has got far better than it used to be. I've cut out the nasty things I used to do, drinking, smoking, and all that business. But even still, changing my diet made a whole lot of difference. Getting up early and going to bed early.
What made you change?
Originally, it started out when I had to get through the point of I had a big problem with alcohol in the past. I was an alcoholic, and I abused my body, etc., etc. And when it came to a time when, as alcoholics say, you have a moment of clarity, and I saw the road I was going down. Now, at the time, I was in a depression. I didn't really care about myself, but I cared about my family. So I changed I changed my life for them more than for me.
And it's interesting because that seems to be something that people, when they get to a certain age, they do realise. You know, it's almost as if you have to live a life of abuse to yourself and eating the wrong thing before you and then face the fact that you're mortal and this is going to be bad for you, to actually then genuinely do something about it. Because a lot of people know this, you know, the stuff that you said.
Yeah.
People know this. They know they should stop
of course they do.
smoking.
I mean,
they shouldn't overeat and eat, but yet they do.
Because...
And it's not until they see the mortality in their, you know, they see that, oh my God, the doctor says if you smoke anymore, or if you do this or you do that, you know, you'll be on a machine. They go, oh, I didn't realise I was at that point. You know, it's like they have to get almost into the red before they go, oh, okay, well, I'll stop now then. And it may be too late.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's you know, it's not about that. To me, it's about, like, you know, I should have done that in the first place.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what
Yeah,
but I'm not suggesting that
is,
people take it to the... I'm saying the opposite. That I'm saying it is ironic that it's only when you get to the point where you're almost going to die that actually these not you personally, but a lot of people, not everyone, because there's loads of health freaks out there who just, you know, are on every diet, on every treadmill, on every this, that and the other, and actually none of it, they're so worried about their health. And then that seems to be the reverse. They're so sort of jittery and worried about it and doing all these things.
Yeah, I mean...
And then it's the opposite thing.
The problem is they cause themselves problems as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you're too hard on your body, and you it's kind of like, you know, it's okay to go on a diet, and it's okay to lose a bit of weight, but if you keep losing weight, it's bad for you.
Yeah.
So I'm saying balance. There's that balance. You need that balance, and the balance is that you need things that are right for your body, your spirit, and your mind. You know, and once you get them all in, and people think, oh, well, the candles and the joss sticks are going to come out now. No, you know. What you have to do is you have to think, you know, for years and years, I got preached to that smoking was okay, drinking was okay, this was okay, and that was okay, until I got the message, picked up that television set, took it outside and beat the crap out of it.
Good for you.
Because all the poison that was going into my mind came from that box.
Yeah.
And I realised that thing is conditioning people.
Yeah.
Until to excess.
People are not thinking for themselves. They cannot. I mean, people don't listen to themselves. They don't listen to any logic anymore because everything comes from external things. They don't listen to their own thing. And when they do, you know, it's like, yeah, I know I shouldn't eat too much of this, or I know I shouldn't be drinking red wine every night, or whatever it is. And they sort of go, well, I know I shouldn't be doing it. It's like, you've just said it. You've just said it. Don't say, oh, but I enjoy it too much. Or, you know, I heard a thing on the news and it said it was all right. You've just said it. I know I shouldn't be drinking that. I know I should. Well, stop then.
Yeah.
Bloody stop.
It's as easy as that. But the way you do it is, you think of this, right? I started off and I had, you know, those big, the calendars with the big numbers on it in red and black.
Yeah. What,
you
for
know,
each day?
And
you whip them
off.
like a
big
daily
thing. Yeah, and when I started off with one of those, and I started marking off the days that I didn't have drink, or, you know, I didn't eat this, and I didn't. And then I got to the point, this is like being in bloody prison. That thing is controlling my mind. What I need to get away from is why I was drinking.
Yeah.
Who I was with. So I cut a lot of people off out of my life. It's kind of like, if you've got a cancer, you're not going to say, oh, well, you know, the cancer's been there a long time in my life, you know. I can't be saying that, you know. But no, you've got to go to it. You've got to cut it out. And those people who are a poison to you, you've got to cut them out.
Cut it, yeah.
Those people who just want you around when they're drinking and you're drinking, you'll notice when you stop drinking, they don't want you around.
Yeah. Because it's kind of a club, isn't it? You're all in the great thing. I mean, yeah, absolutely. If you're not one of the
and you get strange looks as well. Oh well, yeah, Mark's all right, but you give up drinking.
If you don't agree to the accepted narrative, they come for you. That's all.
Oh yeah.
Listen, we've got to move this. I've got to move this on, Mark.
Oh, sorry, mate.
But no, it's all right. But what you did was, go on, just finish it off.
So what I did was, for the first month of trying to give up booze, I went to the pub every single day and had orange juice or Coke or a brew.
You faced it.
I faced it off because I thought, if I can do this in here, I can do it anywhere.
Exactly. You can do it then at home.
It's outside, at home, it's easy. It's simple. But if I can do it right here, where all the pressure is, where all my mates are around me, trying to give me a beer, trying to stick one in me here and there, if I can stop it there, it's never going to go. And I got over it in 6 months.
Well, there you go.
Never went back to AA.
Mark Donny McLeod, listen to this.
And I'm all right now. 7 years.
There you go. Well done. Congratulations. Ernie Sammett says, this has been the best telephone conversation yet since your show started. So informative and much to learn from. I have the same diet regime for the last 18 years. Mark, thank you so much for that.
No worries, mate. You have a good one.
Yeah, thank you.
And I love the show, and now and again I go off, but I always come back.
Yeah, well, that's it. Most people do. Take care. Look after yourself.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. There we go. Sense from Mark Donny McLeod. How about that? Cool, blimey, we covered a whole load of things. The way animals are sorted out for a supermarket near me, and how to get rid of the demon drink, looking after your health and all of that. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much. You see, sometimes out of the nonsense comes a little gem of something. God knows how it happens, but it does. Brilliant. We've got 2 videos to get through before we get to the end of the show, and we will do that. First of all, we are going to go climbing with Colonel Craig Ratty. Yes, these are pictures. He's put them together in a video. Climbing pictures. Now, unfortunately, there's no sound on this, and I guess Colonel Craig Ratty, what can you say? So it will be a bit quiet, I'm afraid, but I'm just warning you, that's how it came in to me. So let's nip into the... Oh, there's the lovely Bonnie again, who is going to play us in... Thank you, Bonnie. There we go. That was Bonnie. And sorry about I don't know how that came up again the second time. And this is Pete's video, quiet video, moment of silence, whilst we look at the lovely drawings and sketches of Pete and his mates mountaineering. So there we go. That was music there, care of Andrew Norris. The gallery music, which I had an opportunity to actually play in, which was superb. Thank you so much, Pete. That was fantastic to see those wonderful drawings of yours and the climbing and how you turn them into colour. Absolutely brilliant. If you get any more, do send them in. We can always supply the music. Just let me know in advance and we'll get the gallery music out. Lovely drawings. Thank you, both of you. There we are. How about that? Actually, the music worked really well, I thought, with that. So that was really nice. Fantastic. Time is almost beating us, but not quite. Stephen Agger has been up to Sisbury Ring, looking at the ponies. So let's have a look at the ponies up there. Oh, there we go. That was sorry about that. That was the end of that bit. Hang on, we'll just let that finish. I can't remember how to turn it off otherwise. Where are you? There we go. Bing. Marvellous. So Stephen Agger, as I say, was up at Sisbury Ring.
Hello, Richard. And G. Robinauts out there. Stephen Agger up on Sisbury Ring. These ponies grazing. I don't know too much. It's not a bad one of those days. Back in the studio.
Back to me in the studio. Thank you so much. That was lovely. Lovely to see. And I love that one where you've got the big close-up of him walking by. Lovely ponies. We do like the old ponies on the Vobes show, especially the lovely ladies out there. They always, look, lovely, lovely, lovely clod-hopping ponies. They're delightful with their little tiny white boots on, all ready as if they would come from Essex to go dancing of an evening. I expect they had little handbags there, did they? May have done. I think we've kind of covered everything. Stephen Agger there, Colonel Craig Ratty and Bernie, and Bonnie with her playing. Mark Burgess, did we find out whether that was Jane Seymour? Did we get that sorted out? And Robin Jones with his fantastic Robin. That was superb. Don't forget, if you want to send us a video, then you can. Please, 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 I beg of you, send it horizontal like this or landscape rather than portrait or vertical. It just works so much easier for the system. And if you can send it at 720p, that would be good. Send it to me, richard@vobes.com, via wetransfer.com. The information is down in the description, so you should be able to do that. Absolutely brilliant. Hoping that the lovely Julia will be back with us on Friday, which will be great. We will, of course, play your films, poems, whatever it is that you want to make, art, scribblings, this, that and the other. Fantastic. And, of course, phone calls. So we've got 7 minutes left, ladies and gentlemen, till past. If anyone wants to give me another tinkle on the old Vobie line, 0793 474 6790, the phone line is open. Lots of interesting things in today's show. Bit of a weird old show, isn't it? On the one hand, people screaming at me, turn your volume up. On the other hand, we've had some very serious conversations. So there we are. Mark Donny McLeod says, be careful of jumping those Beltane fires and leave something nice for the side he or something. Fingers and toes are crossed, says John B. Robert Croser says, few horses in the paddock over the road from me. Lovely jubbly. So that's all very nice. What else have we got? Thanks for another great show. What is 720p, says Jackie Lowe. That is the format of the video. You can have 1080, which is HD, 1080p. There's 4K, there's 1080, and HD is also 720, but it's the sort of the first of the 8. There's 2 HD formats, really. But if you don't know, just send the video in and I'll sort it out. It saves me having to sort out millions of them all at the same time. Hello, caller. Welcome to the Vobes show.
Hello. Good evening. It's Colonel Craig Ratty.
Good evening to you, Colonel Craig Ratty. How are you down there in Fareham Way?
I'm fine. I just thought I'd phone in as I haven't chatted for a while.
No.
Hope you like the pictures.
Did very much like the pictures. And was that your first go at putting them on video?
Yes. I just thought it was easier to do that, and then you haven't got to worry about putting them all in the right order and everything else.
Yes,
and
that makes my life.
It gives me a chance to add some text as well. I haven't added music yet because I'm a bit worried about adding music, which is copyright and getting you kicked off YouTube. So
I appreciate that. I hope you didn't mind me putting in a bit of background just to sort of smooth it along. And as Andrew Norris, bless him, he'd sent in this gallery music some months ago now, this long extension of it, and I can only play it in certain circumstances. So if a video has no sound, I can do that. But if we're talking over it, I can't play it. It's the way this... I'm hoping that when I rewire the studio and send it upstairs and it's in a different place, I will have a chance to sort that all out. So
I've yet to try and work out how to add music because the video sort of editing suite that I use is Windows Live Movie Maker, and I don't know whether that's got the ability to add a separate soundtrack.
I would imagine it must do. I mean, it would be so primitive if you couldn't add a music bed underneath something. But I can't tell. I have no idea. I mean, I'd never used any of the Windows products.
I'll have a look.
But of course, you
can...
It
was just to show some of the pictures where I'd drawn them and then added the colour, and I couldn't remember whether I'd sent some of these in before or not, so I hope they weren't repeats.
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, we've got new listeners and viewers rather all the time, and it's always nice to see them again, which is fantastic. And you did a great job. Do you still draw now?
Yes, I do. I mean, I used to do it every month back in normal times, but since we've been in lockdown, strangely enough, I haven't had the inspiration or the wherewithal to do it at home. I've done a couple, but I ought to get back into it. Otherwise, I'm going to lose my touch.
Yes, that's right. I mean, as soon as you get very, very busy and you've got a million things that you now need to do and you're allowed to do, you'll suddenly get the urge to do the drawing and have no time to do it. But it's always the way, isn't it? When you've got all the time in the world, you never do things, and it's when you're really busy that's the time when all these things. Oh, I just have to do this.
Sometimes I'm sitting there thinking, oh, I must get my pencils out and do it. And I thought, I can't be bothered.
Comes to us all. It does. I mean, we all have days like that, don't we? Dear, oh dear.
I was interested to see your comments on your van.
Yes.
What you're going to do. I think you saw my posts about be aware that removing bulkheads in your van may cause structural weakness.
I did see that when I looked at my bulkhead as you do, and it's all on Allen keys, and the main strut it's attached to, so I don't think it makes the slightest difference.
Okay, because I used to work in the automotive industry.
Right.
And one of my jobs as a designer, and I used to work for Daewoo in Worthing.
Yeah, right.
In Worthing. And a lot of cars are designed so that all the bits hold it together. So if you take a panel out, you have to make sure that you either put extra reinforcing in or to make sure it's not a structural part. Otherwise, the whole roof line could start moving. That's when people say, "Oh, I'm just going to cut this out and cut that out."
Yeah.
You just have to be aware. I mean, best way to do it is Google it, and somebody's bound to have done it before, and they'll give you all the
absolutely. That's
ideas.
what I was thinking. I mean, there was a time we bought this Mini from a junkyard that was just about drove in the 90s, and typical Mini. It was when I say a typical Mini, it was, I think somebody said it was a Mini Moke, but then someone showed me what a Mini Moke looked like, and it wasn't resembling this. But it was like a Mini anyway. Call it a Mini for the sake of argument.
Sounds like a mini van or mini estate.
Yeah, we took the roof off. And, of course, the roof was an integral part of the thing.
Yeah.
But we took the roof off because we wanted to turn it into a rocket car. So what we ended up having, we realised that the roof was basically holding it together, the sort of thing. So we got these, I don't know what they were. It was like 2x2 tubing, steel tubing, massive, great, chunky. And we welded along the side to sort of bring the strength back in. Massive, heavy things. And it never went on the road, so it was all on private ground and all of that. But it worked. It held together. It never fell apart.
Oh, yeah, I mean, for something like that. But, I mean, modern cars, even the windscreen is part of the structure now. The actual windscreen is glued in.
Right.
And they give the stiffness. In the old days, like back in the 70s and 80s, if you broke your windscreen and knocked it out, it wouldn't matter. But with a modern car, if you break your windscreen or if you take a windscreen out, the car will become unstable and you'll end up twisting the body, the shell.
Oh, right.
And, so you do have to be very careful.
Yeah. No, well, I'll YouTube it to see if it's all right on a custom, what is it, a Ford, not Escort, a Ford Transit Custom.
I mean, obviously, they build them without bulkheads because you see them, they're used without bulkheads, but they may well have put some extra stiffness inside the roof.
Yes. Yeah, there is definitely some that it bolts on, there's 18 bolts, and it clearly comes out if you want to. And then there's
this. It probably is okay.
Then there's this sort of square structure where it's bolted in that's fixed to the roof that.
Oh, it's probably okay to take it out.
But I take you. It's worth looking twice, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Because
have you worked out where you're going to put your toilet if you put your seat against the back wall?
Well, I did. Funny enough, today I was looking to see if I could slide it in under the bunk, and then discovered that I can't actually do that because of the way it's been fitted in there. If I could get one where the flush part was just a bit smaller, it's possible. So I may have to buy another loo. But for the moment, I think. But what I have done is I've taken the big chair out now. That's gone.
Oh, okay.
So that gives me more space, and I've got a little collapsible chair. But it just means that if I'm moving about inside the living area, I can actually undress for bed and get dressed, and set up a little table if I want to eat, and position the table where I want.
Okay.
And I can get in and out. I just need to order some bungees so that I can strap my collapsible chair to either the kind of the bulkhead, but the other side of the bulkhead, so I can have the chair on the inside rather than have it in the back where I have to get out and go around and pick it up and then come back in.
Oh, right. Okay. Oh, it sounds really good. I mean, if you ever wanted some ideas, I used to be a mechanical designer, so I spent a lot of time designing boxes to house equipment. So it's the same thing as a packaging exercise. So if you ever want any ideas, I could.
Well, now that we're nearly free to go and visit people, and you're not actually too far away from my grandson down there because he's in Southampton.
Oh, right. Okay.
We'll have to get in touch with him. I'll come down and maybe have a cup of tea and have a look at the van.
Having built 3 kit cars and spent
exactly.
Spent a lot
You're
of
the
time
man. You're the man. You're
you're
hired.
I might be able to give some ideas.
And if we need somebody to get up on the roof who's not scared of heights, you can get your grappling hook out and
have to get my ropes out and use my ice axe to get up onto your roof.
Yeah, because it's quite tall. It needs a clean. I'll give you the mop and bucket. You can climb. It would be great. No, we'll do that. I'll come down and have a cup of tea and we can have a chat. You never know, because you may come up with all sorts of little ideas for putting things in and how you could bolt them on and all of that.
Yeah, that would be great fun. You'd be more than welcome to come down.
Yeah, it'd be lovely. It'd be lovely to meet you in the flesh. Anyway, we better end the show because we've now overrun, but it's fantastic. It's lovely. You look after yourself, Pete. Thanks for calling in.
Nice to talk to you, Richard.
Yeah,
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. There we are. Colonel Crag Ratty there making a big offer to bring his ice rack and ice, what was it? Ice, whatever it was, pick and break his way into the van. Lovely. I look forward to that. He's the man for the job, says John B. Absolutely. Anyway, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We've managed to make it to 9:30 without killing anybody. So it's been a great show again. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you got something out of it. Hope I did. Thanks to Stephen Agger, to Colonel Craig Ratty, to Bernie, and to Bonnie for the videos, to Mark Burgess for the Native American with Jane Seymour, and to Robin Jones for the Robin, to the lovely Ed and Alex for the phone calls, and also to Mark Donny McLeod, Sean James Cameron, and, as you heard at the end there, Colonel Craig Ratty for the phone calls, to Judith and Julia, who are out there making sure everybody's behaving themselves, and to you lot for watching and taking part. There's a lot of people to thank, isn't there, in the chat room. Thank you so much. It's been great. I'll be back on Friday. Meanwhile, there will be a Bald Explorer video tomorrow, a bit of a cogitation one tomorrow for you, but a nice little view down on the seafront, just so to wet your whistle. Anyway, from me to you, take care, look after yourselves. Thanks so much for watching, and I will catch you in the future. Bye-bye for now. Goodbye!